More people died on this ship than on the Titanic. It happened on American soil, on an American river, and most Americans have never even heard of it. April 1865. The Civil War has just ended. A steamboat called the Sultana is loaded onto the Mississippi River, headed north from Vicksburg, Mississippi. On board are Union soldiers recently freed prisoners of war, finally heading home to their families after months, sometimes years, in captivity. The boat is built to carry 376 people. It's carrying nearly 2,400. Steamboat companies were paid by the government for every soldier they transported home. More passengers meant more money, so the Sultana's captain packed the decks far beyond any safe limit. Men were standing shoulder to shoulder. Decks groaned under the weight. Adding to the danger, one of the boat's boilers had a hasty, poorly done repair just days earlier, patched instead of properly fixed. In the early morning hours of April 27th, just north of Memphis, Tennessee, the overworked boilers gave out. 3 of the 4 boilers exploded almost simultaneously. The blast tore through the crowded decks, hurling men into the frigid river and igniting a fire that spread across the wreckage within minutes. Survivors, many too weak from months as prisoners of war, had almost nothing left to fight the current with. An estimated 1,168 people died that night. Some sources place it even higher. It remains to this day the deadliest maritime disaster in United States history. Deadlier than the Titanic, which killed roughly 1,500 people on a much larger ship, decades later, on the open ocean, not a river. So why has almost nobody heard of it? The disaster happened just 12 days after President Lincoln's assassination. The nation's newspapers and its grief were consumed by one story, and the Sultana was pushed to the back pages, then out of memory almost entirely. Soldiers who had survived a war and a prison camp died just miles from freedom, and their story barely made it into the history books. No one was ever held fully accountable. Investigations pointed to greed, corruption, and a boiler that should have been fixed properly. And even today, historians are still debating one detail that might explain exactly why that boiler failed.